as it was earlier in the game, and maybe that kind of played into some of the plays down the stretch too.
Well, I think it probably did, and I, we know that a couple of kids had some dehydration issues. I think they were on the field, and Coach Tresy would tell you this himself. Admittedly, they were on the field for more plays than he wanted them to be because the offense had a few 3-and-outs and caused some problems. But I really look for them to build on what they did last year, and what I really like with what they're in the first half. What I really like about what they're doing this year is they're just coming from every angle of the field, and that presents some problems offensively for most teams.
I think about some of those really good teams you had in your career here at Wisconsin Lutheran, and the linebacking core is what jumps to mind. And I know, between Savon Goodwin and Layson Handwork, two of the top tacklers the last couple of years in this conference, but there's a lot more talent beyond those guys, and the depth of the linebacking core is going to be really fun to watch. Those guys fly around a lot.
They really do, and I came out to an early practice during the preseason and just kind of wandered around the field and looked at the different position groups, and then I walked over and really paid some attention to the linebackers, and I didn't really know the personnel, but I was watching them, and they don't have their numbers on, so I literally didn't know who they were. But I walked over to Coach Donovan later on, and I said, this kid and this kid and this kid. And he said, every linebacker is a quality linebacker. And I don't think we've had the luxury to say that all the time. You've always had your very best, and then you've had the others that were clearly backups. We've got some kids here that I think all of them have the ability to play and make an impression.
We're going to talk a little bit about that defensive scheme in my pregame chat with head coach Eric Tresy in just a couple of moments. Real quick, a brand new opponent in that maybe 25 years now of Warriors football, but Wisconsin Lutheran and Buena Vista, located in Storm Lake, Iowa, central Iowa area or so, have never played before. What type of challenge does that present a coach when they're trying to, accumulate information and present it to the guys, but they have very little to go on in that respect, at least?
It really is a challenge, and especially only as the second game of the year. You just, like I was talking to Coach Donovan during the week with his preparation. They've had about 50 plays to look at, and they're trying to make decisions on 50 plays. The other unique thing about Buena Vista is the teams in their league, we have rarely played even in any teams in that league, so we don't have a good barometer on that. But by the same token, they're facing the same battle. They have not played us, and they have played Benedictine in our league, and so they have a little bit of a sense of that. But I think it's going to be an exciting football game today.
So it's two 0-1 teams. You said the Warriors lose last week 21-7 at Lake Forest. As Coach just alluded to, it was Buena Vista losing at home to Benedictine 34-7. That was 7-6 Buena Vista at the end of the first quarter.
Right.
And then the Eagles ran away with it, obviously. It's still a rebuilding era, if you will, for the Beavers. They have a second-year head coach, Austin Dickinson, and he kind of turned over the roster, as is often the case in college sports these days, going into last year's first season and still trying to kind of get a foothold with the personnel and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, the potential is there when you have somebody with the talent of Iman Alanis, a first-team All-American Rivers Conference honoree last year. He was top 10 in the nation in average all-purpose yards per game with about 160. He's out there again. He's gotten the bulk of the carries at running back. But as he goes, oftentimes so go the Beaver success.
Yeah, he's a special player. I mean, he's one of the best in the nation in Division III. So I think our key or our challenge would be to just not let him gain a lot of confidence. I mean, I think we got to make him, number one, not have easy access to the outside, and then maybe get some hits behind the line of scrimmage, and I guess let him know early in the game it's not going to be an easy game for him because he's a good player.
We'll get into all of that and more. He is Dennis Miller. I am Scott Warras. So great to work with our W7 Productions crew behind the scenes. When we come back, we'll hear from fifth-year head coach Eric Tresy as we continue from a beautiful Robbie Stadium Saturday. You're watching Warriors football. The man entering his fifth year as head coach of the Warriors, it is Eric Tresy. Man, it is going to be a spectacular day for football. The home opener against the Buena Vista Beavers. Not a cloud in the sky You get nervous on a day like this? Maybe not nervous. Let me rephrase that. You get excited. You get a little butterflies going. Even now, you've been in the game so long.
It's funny. I was just talking to Mike Fossum, our line coach, and we were both joking that it still feels like game day when we were kids, man. It's